Morning that as I was just spending time with God this morning, he just reminded me of something, of a victory that happened last year. And I thought about King David, or David, when he was just a boy. He went up against Goliath, which Goliath was a giant, a champion of war. Everybody was afraid of him. But David did something there. Before he fought him, he said, you know, I slew the lion and the bear. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that defies the armies of God, right? And so he was recounting his victories. He was thinking back about the times that God delivered him, the lion, the bear tried to steal his sheep, or whatever have you, and God gave him victory. He was able to kill them. And so this giant is just another enemy, you know, of God in his eyes. He had a covenant with God, and he knew God was faithful, that he brought him out of this situation and that situation, and all of a sudden this giant doesn't seem so big because God is much bigger. And so, you know, anytime when you face situations, sometimes you just need to recount your victories. Just think about the time that God brought you out of this situation or that situation. You know, I was in this accident and it could have killed me, but God delivered me. You know, this thing could have happened or that could have happened. I thought I was at the end of my rope, and somehow God brought me out of it. You know, I was in turmoil, and then God gave me supernatural peace. And you know, this happened at that time, but I'm still here. And just think about and recount the times that God brought you out of things, and then you got to say, if God brought me out of that, won't he bring me out of this too? If he gave me victory in that situation, don't I have victory in this situation too? And so just think about the times that you've had challenges and that God brought you out of them. So anyway, the victory that I was thinking about this morning, last year we went to Disney World, my family and I, and then after we came back, not long after we came back, my son comes to us with a proposal, or actually I think we got an email, but they were working on a play at the time, the Lion King, at his school, and one of the parents wanted to organize a trip to take the kids to New York to see the Broadway play, you know, the Lion King. And so he had opportunity to do that, but I think it was like $900 or something like that to go. And so we just gotten back from Disney, and how many of you know when you go to Disney you're gonna spend some money? So coming back from Disney, we did not want to try to come up with another $1,000 to give him to go to New York, you know, after we just got back from vacation. And so but, you know, it was a great opportunity for him to go. So here's what I told him. I said, so listen, I know you want to go to New York. We just got back from Disney, spent a lot of money there. You know, you need another $900,000 to go to this New York trip. So here's what we're going to do. I didn't want to tell him no, but I wanted him to know that God is faithful and he can rely on God, and use faith and see God manifest things in his life. And so I said, we're going to pray and we're going to believe God for the means that you go to New York if you want to go, because I want my kids to know that God is big, that he's amazing. Like, it's nothing that he can't do. It's nothing that they can't accomplish with him. And he said he'll give us the desires of our heart. And so if he wanted to go to New York, you know, it's a great opportunity for him. It was expensive. We just spent a lot of money at Disney, but you know what? God is so much bigger than that. And so let's just believe God for the means to go. And so me and him sat down, we prayed, because wherever two agree on earth is touching anything that they ask, it shall be given. We got some scriptures out, Mark 11, 23 and 24, you know, whatsoever things, it says, have faith in God, whatsoever things that we ask, believe that we receive them, and we shall have them. Philippians 4:19, my God shall supply all of my need according to his riches and glory. And so we got those scriptures out and read them, and I said, write those scriptures down. I said, every day you thank God for that trip to New York, I think we might even got a little money together and sowed a seed, you know, in the offering is that just as an act of faith and believe in God for the means to go. And some of the kids, they try to do a little fundraiser with some selling some donuts. I think they got 50, 60 bucks a piece, something like that. Not anywhere close to 1,000. So anyway, we just believe in God, you know, for the means to go. And I was at work one day, and God just gave me this idea. Well, I thought about, it was a lady's daughter that went on a mission trip, and she did like a t-shirt fundraiser. And so I thought about that, and I said, maybe Kaleb can raise money doing that. And he has some artistic ability, and I said maybe he could create his own design, you know, for a t-shirt, and you know, we could do a fundraiser like that. And so I told him about it. Sounded like a great idea. So he went to work on a design, and he drew the Lion King. See if I can show you here. My shirt, right, the Lion King. And so he, you know, came up with that idea, drew that. And so I asked the lady what was the company, you know, that her daughter used to do the fundraiser. She gave me the information. Reached out to them, you know, they said give me a design, and you know, they give you the link for fundraiser and all that. And then it was a guy I work with that does t-shirts too, and he done some for somebody, so I asked him. So I was trying to decide, you know, will it be better to go with this online company, or let this guy do it? He does it cheaper, but then, you know, it's not a link to sell them. You got to kind of come up with your own marketing or whatever. So I wasn't really sure, you know, which way to go. And I'd seen this other company on Facebook, but I didn't know anything about them, hadn't even looked into it. And so around this time, I had this CD of Kenneth Copeland, and he was talking about using faith and how, you know, meditate on the promises of God, get quiet before him, and let him give you an inner image of the thing that you believe in God for. And so I was praying. I said, God, which way, you know, should we go with this? Go through the person at work, or do the, you know, the company that I knew about? And stepped out of the shower one day, you know, after the praying that, and I just heard in my heart, Teespring, which was a company I saw on Facebook that I really knew nothing about, hadn't even thought about using them. And, you know, I don't know if y'all do this, you go through this little thing like, is that God, you know, or is that just in my own mind, or whatever? So anyway, I said, okay, you know, I felt like it was from God, but it wasn't positive, so I still checked the other one out that day. And come to find out, when I sent them the image, they sent me back saying we can't use it because, you know, some copyright stuff with Disney, so they wouldn't use it. And so I checked out Teespring, and they helped me clean the image up and everything, and used it. And so I felt like, you know, that was God, so I went with them. And long story short, he ended up getting like over $1,000 selling these things online. You know, family and friends really rallied behind it and got in and helped out. But he got his money, and he was able to go to New York. Now, after he'd already been to New York, you know, raised his money, been to New York, had spending money. They gave him the, you know, 60 bucks or whatever they got from the donut thing, got him a game or something like that from the Nintendo store there. So, you know, he raised enough money for his plane ticket to go, food, like everything, right? And even got, you know, some extra money to spend there from what they did. And so, you know, not only did he have an amazing time, but he saw, you know, what faith in God will do. And after he'd been and everything happened, then I got an email from the company saying, oh, we have to take this, you can't sell any more of these shirts because it's too close to, you know, the real Disney image, so you can't use it. But by that time, we'd already used it. The fundraiser was over with. You know, he'd already been, got all of his money, and so everything was done. And so that just let me know how much, you know, that God did that, because, you know, the favor of God will change regulations, rules, and policies on your behalf. And so anyway, this morning, God just reminded me of that victory and the faithfulness of God. And no matter what it is that we need, we can have faith in God. We can trust God for it, and he will surely bring it to pass. So anyway, I know this got kind of long, but I just wanted to share that and let you know that God is on your side. Recount your victories, and all is well in Jesus' name. God bless you.